Blaincast. I've been doing these monthly in recent days, but I had been doing it every week for a while, but kind of ran out of steam on that. But this is a special occasion. This is Mother's Day, and this is actually, for me, a double celebration. I've always done something special on Mother's Day, but this time it's for the mother I never knew, who I've discovered recently through the Ancestry DNA. And I have two mothers to celebrate. So happy Mother's Day to any mothers out there. And, in the midst of all of this, I was making a new album and I had to just stop the presses because I wanted to write a song about the mother I never knew. And because I was hearing all these great stories about her and only wish I had come to know her. But now I put it in a song, and I'd like to share it with you now. And I'm going to try to make more of a concert for you this afternoon. I know the 420 special we did last month. I got a little feedback that it might have been a little spaced out, but I mean it was the 420 special. What do you expect? And but now it's going to be more of a concert for this time. And let me start it with The Mother I Never Knew. She was a mother, a single mom making do, working at Simpson's. That's the mother I never knew. Someone to lean on. She was there to help you work things through. Spent her life helping others. That's the mother I never knew. She was never angry, and she'd calm you down if you were. Always ready to listen, and your secrets were safe with her. And she loved music, and sitting back watching the news, always cheering the underdog. That's the mother I never knew. And it's been beautiful to learn these things. Hope she knew how she was loved. Thank the family for the memories that showed me who she was. A kind-hearted woman, a person of very deep faith, only thinking of others. Some might even call her a saint, but she was just a mother, a single mom making do, working at Simpson's. She's the mother I never knew. She's the mother I never knew. The mother I never knew. Ah, yes. Well, writing tunes is about all I've had to keep me occupied for the last 14 months, and it's great when you can sit at the kitchen table and come up with something and, you can feel good about it. And they say, Quincy Jones, I think, is the one that said, God is in the room when you're in that kind of creative mode. And I was feeling it. And it's been great to at least have a little bit of a creative outlet. I hope folks out there have found some way or other to deal with this kind of homebound boredom. Man. But some people are out and doing what they got to do, and God bless them, the frontline workers and all of that. Are you feeling it's kind of coming? Maybe it's winding down a little bit. In places, you got to admit it's not winding down, but in some places it is. And so here's hoping that in Toronto we'll be getting out and playing live music again. I know so many musician friends that are hurting. And here, let me pay a little tribute to some of my musician friends. I had a buddy, Scott Cushney, Professor Piano, he was called. He passed away a couple of years ago. I'm glad he didn't even have to live to go through all of this. But he had already moved into a senior's residence, and he was not playing very much, although he kind of had it in him. He was always kind of thinking, let's do a gig, let's go back to that place. But really, no, I think he was kind of over any kind of road work, and I have to say, maybe me too. In fact, I think I'm quoting myself in that song. I'm not 50 anymore. But here, let me play the tune I wrote about the Prof, and a few other musicians that have come into my life. Scott Cushney wrote this melody a long time ago. I learned it back in Sherbrooke from a radio show. Who knew one day we'd be playing together on the road in lousy weather, where he told me stories about the golden days. It was years till I learned it was Scott who wrote Bourbon Street. Till a friend at Albert's Hall said, Brian, there's someone you should meet. And I ran into Scott in the washroom, told him how I'd been singing his tune, and before long we were doing gigs downtown. And to hear the Prof talk about how Yonge Street rocked, and the center of attention was a man called the Hawk. And when he heard Scott and Robbie's band, he extended his hand. Well, the story goes Ron wanted Scott, but not the whole band. Pete Traynor and Robbie Robertson stood to lose their left hand. But Scott was in and out of Ronnie's band. Pete Traynor's name became a brand, and we all know Robbie Robertson did okay. And to hear the Prof talk about how Yonge Street rocked, and the center of attention was a man called the Hawk. And when he heard Scott and Robbie's band, he extended his hand. And that's how Scotty ended that one. So he had written this melody, and it was a song called Bourbon Street. I heard it, the song says, when I was in Sherbrooke. I had an old tape recorder, and I heard this coming on the radio, and I loved the sound of it. I recorded it, missed a little bit of the first few lines, but I captured the song and learned it, played it, and for years and years without knowing who ever wrote it, where it came from. Never heard it again. And then when I get to Toronto, imagine I find out that I'm in the same club, the Alberts Hall up there at the Brunswick House. And somebody said, Brian, that's Scott Cushnie. He wrote that tune, Bourbon Street. And then began a nice musical relationship with Scott and friendship. And what a great guy he was. And, well, let me sing about another fabulous musician that I got to work with. Her name was Kathy McDonald, and Kathy was quite amazing lady. She was from Seattle. She had worked with Long John Baldry. She was his sidekick for 20 years on his recordings on the road. And she was then on, but before and after that, did a lot of backup singing for different people. And, well, without relating all the stories, well, let me relate one story, how I met Kathy McDonald. This is the occasion to sit back and have some stories to go along with the songs, I guess. But I'm going to try to keep it moving along. But to keep this story moving along, picture this. I get invited to open for Kathy if I can be her guitar player as well. So I get to do a couple of tunes before and then play with Butch Coulter and myself and occasionally a rhythm section. And it was 3 weeks in Germany, Switzerland, Czech Republic. And so 3 weeks solid gigs. And it was pretty amazing. But I had never met Kathy McDonald. I was sent the set list, and I did a little homework. And I ain't no jobber learning a million songs. Not that I don't have that kind of repertoire, but I did my homework, and I prepared for that. And I get to Frankfurt, Germany, and I'm going to meet Kathy McDonald at the hotel. And I get there first, and she's coming from Seattle, and I tell the guy at the desk, let me know when Ms. McDonald arrives. And a couple of hours later, whatever, I'm up in my room and the phone rings. And it's like, yes, Ms. McDonald is here, and there seems to be a problem. You better come down here. And so I come downstairs, and she is flipping out. She's saying, it's gone. My purse is gone. That taxi driver stole my purse. And it's got my passport and my money, my jewelry. Everything's gone. And I'm kind of, whoa, hi there. I'm your new guitar player. And she says, well, come upstairs. And we go in her room. She's got stuff scattered all over the room where she's been searching for her purse and a small bag that is gone missing. She claims it was in the cab, but now they've tracked the cab driver. He says, no, there's nothing in his cab. It was quite the little adventure until finally, and then Kathy finally calms down a little bit. She says, okay, well, let's go get a drink. And I'm going, well, yeah, go get a drink? Well, the tour is over if you don't have a passport, you know. And anyway, we walk out of the hotel. We go around the corner to a pizza joint. I'm only interested in having a slice, but she starts with the Cuba Libres, and then we kind of hang out there a little bit, and we're walking back to the hotel, and it's a kind of a seedy neighborhood there too. And anyway, she's feeling right at home, and we get back to the hotel, and I'm still thinking this is over, and Butch is not even here yet. But sure enough, here's the weird thing. We get in the elevator. I was staying on the 4th floor. She was on the 2nd floor. But I accidentally pushed the button for the 3rd floor. And this funky little elevator that can hardly hold 2 people goes up and goes straight to the 3rd floor. Elevator doors open. And sitting right there on the floor, right in front of the elevator doors, are 2 small bags, a purse and another, shoulder bag. And I said, Kathy, is that your shit? And oh my God, and it was. She had got a little spaced out on the plane ride, I guess. She hated to fly, so she would medicate herself pretty good. And I guess she got confused and had gone up to the wrong floor, started to unload her stuff, went back down, and then when she went to the right floor, it was all gone. And anyway, that was my first meeting with Kathy McDonald. What a character she was. Let's use a pick for this one. And she was only 19 when she hooked up with Ike and Tina. A skinny white chick with a voice that could fill an arena. When she took to the stage, you knew she's gonna raise the roof. Everybody in the band thought she was bulletproof. Spent some quality time in the company of Kathy McDonald. That's Kathy with an eye for adventure and occasional trouble. She had some stories so wild, you knew she must be telling the truth. She was a real straight shooter, and we thought she was bulletproof. And when the great Janis Joplin quit Big Brother, Kathy was the singer they called. Later singing backup for Leon Russell and Joe Cocker, touring with Long John Baldry, recording with the Rolling Stones. Well, a floor-length leather coat and stilettos is a bad combination. When you're running for a train in some old European train station. Well, Kathy tripped a few times, but she bounced back just like a youth. Cruising for a bruising, and she thought she was bulletproof. Joplin quit Big Brother. Kathy was the singer they called. Then later singing back up from Leon Russell and Joe Cocker. Touring with Long John Baldry, recording with the Rolling Stones. Well, a floor-length leather coat and stilettos is a bad combination. When you're running for a train in some old European train station. Well, Kathy tripped a few times, but she bounced back just like a youth. Cruising for a bruising, and she thought she was bulletproof. Cruising for a bruising, and she thought she was bullet, thought she was bullet, thought she was bulletproof. Yes, she did. That brings me to a tune about a musician who I've never met, but it's got another story to go with it. And it goes back to 25 years when I was, 2005. Is that 25 years yet? Whatever. When we were making Overqualified for the Blues, I wrote a song about Lorena McKenna, and she had just gone through this horrible tragedy, losing her fiance, and it was devastating, and I guess really devastating for her, because I had heard she was even going to quit music, that she wasn't going to play anymore, and I had thought I just was inspired to write a tune that would hopefully encourage her to not lay down her harp. She played a Celtic harp, and I never put it out because we recorded it, and we had quite an epic production. I thought, I had the guys from Downchild there recording with me, and we did a number on that, and it had more key changes and modulations and stuff that I never do in a Brian Blain song. You might have noticed most Brian Blain songs have like 2 verses and a big long jam at the end, But this time, no, I had really gotten into it. But then, no, 2 different people that knew her publicist, and somebody who had done a lot of recording stuff with her, and they said, Lorena she would not appreciate, somebody having a song about what she's just been through. And so I put it on the shelf, never mind. And but now it's 25 years later, and it's long, the tracks are long gone. I kind of looked for them, and now I could never find any of the music. But I came upon a sheet of lyrics, and I was reading that and the story, and it's now 25 years later, and somehow I even had a thought to maybe try to do it in a bit of a bluegrass style, totally different musical treatment than I had done in the original version. And now this is what I came up with, and oh my God, I sure hope I'm not upsetting Lorena McKenna by bringing this up, but it's a hell of a story, and she's just an amazing Canadian musical treasure. So this is my tribute to Lorena. She was just a street musician, busking on the square. Then she got famous, she was touring everywhere. She loved to play, but didn't want to be a star. A Celtic angel who never meant to fly that far. Lorena don't put down your harp. It's a true musician's story, and I think it's time to tell how a waif became a princess in a tragic fairy tale. Prince Charming lost and drowned in Georgian Bay, so deep and dark, broke her spirit, broke her heart. But Lorena, don't put down your harp. An independent artist who would not be pushed around. Just ask the Warner Brothers how she stood and held her ground. She changed the music business, at least she made a start. A tough businesswoman, and she could really play the part. But Lorena, don't put down your harp. Lorena, don't put down your harp. Ah, yes. Can you just hear the fiddle and the mandolin cooking away on that one? I had a bit of a bluegrass period and got to play with some of the bluegrass guys in town. Chris Cool, and also Showman on fiddle, and Burt Carroll on the lap slide. It was great, but we never could get the gigs. Well, maybe I'm just not much at hustling gigs. I never was, and I guess I never will be. But I love to play, and to thank you that I have an occasion to get out the guitar, to be able to play for a few folks this way. I hope you're enjoying it. And here's a tune about another amazing musician. His name was Lenny Bro. Let me stop that thing. Start that thing. Last time I saw Lenny, we were driving in a Winnipeg rain. He's gonna play at some house concert, but first a stop at Long and McQuaid. We got rained out, the concert canceled, so we went up to Dick and Sandy's to jam. How Winnipeg loved Lenny. He was their music man. But then he moved to Nashville, and later on L.A., breaking into the big time and making him a name. Ah, the sound of his harmonics could make the most bitter picker smile. And when he died, we lost his presence it'll always be a Lenny Bro style. Some people often wonder what these musicians are about. But the music keeps on trucking. That's why we took this route. I remember someone told me. I repeated to my wife. Some people live for music, but musicians play for life. Some people live for music, but musicians play for life. And there's a little Mother's Day medley of tunes about some of the wonderful musicians I've come to know. It is, I regard it as quite a gift that I was able to spend these 75 years surrounded by music. Although I have to say, no diss on the mother I knew and the mother that brought me up. But in our house, there was no record player, there was no piano, there was no piano lessons, and I have to say, even when I asked for a guitar for Christmas, it was like, no, I didn't get a guitar. And then the next Christmas came around, and I asked again, like, come on, give me a guitar, and I get a basketball and a hoop or something like that. And finally, I guess I was 13, 14 years old. I got my first job as a soda jerk at the Sherbrooke Pure Milk Dairy Bar, making ice cream cones and milkshakes for people. And saved up my money, $35, and bought a guitar. And started playing with a band before I could even play the guitar. That was the way it was in those days. You would be hanging out with your buddies, and you'd want to have a band, and some people could play better than others, and you just had to keep up. And I can remember even having Band-Aids on my fingers so that I could just keep up with those guys. And that's how I dived into the wonderful world of music. And here, it's time for let's call it a PSA, a public service announcement here. I'm going to back off the guitar because this might get a little loud. But as you can see, we're sitting on the back porch right by Cape Cod Bay. And a little suspension of disbelief there. But I have spent a lot of time in Cape Cod. And one of the things about Cape Cod is it's pretty crowded. And they are not anxious to encourage tourism, unlike probably any other place on the planet who would love to have tourists. In Cape Cod, it was like, really, there's the road is so narrow, and there's so many people on bikes, and then tourists come in with their Hummers, and they get problems. And so now I came up with a kind of an anti-tourism commercial. I don't believe it made it to the airwaves yet, but it goes like this. Shark attack in Truro. You can't swim around the seals. Ticks and mosquitoes, deadly as the eels. Killer tornadoes and vicious hurricanes. One good tsunami would wash Cape Cod away. Sweet blueberries, but poison ivy all around. When you go swimming, the undertow will suck you down. Beaches disappearing, you can't stop that rising tide. A few more meters, and you can kiss Cape Cod goodbye. But we got the sunshine, we got the sea, we got the sand. Enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it while you can. Please don't come. No, we didn't need to tag that. And really, it is a gorgeous place, and hard to discourage people once they've been there. They're going to come back. What are you going to do? And, I'm going to do a few tunes from the new album. I haven't spoken about that yet, but it is available for sale on Bandcamp, brianblain.bandcamp.com. The album is called I'm Not 50 Anymore. And I'm just thrilled with the reaction we've been getting. It's like I was on the chart. I was number 47 on the Folk Roots chart. And now, just yesterday, somebody sent me the chart from their station, and I'm at the top. I don't know if that means I'm number one, but I was the first song on their chart. Isn't that exciting? And it's just great having some new music out there, and that people are getting back to me and saying they're enjoying it. And it's all over. You can listen any place that you go for streaming music. But if you want to buy a copy, go to Bandcamp. You can get a physical copy or just download the digital file. A lot of people don't even have a CD player in their house anymore. What are you going to do? It's tough times. And I will make the pitch here that if you wanted to contribute something to help defray the costs of these streaming sessions, I have a PayPal account, paypal.me/Brian Blain. Or you can e-transfer money. But it's not about the money. It's about connecting and just trying to keep a connection going when so much of everything is shut down. So let me do a couple of tunes from the album here. And this one, I'll leave the old effects on because... this is the first tune we put out from this release. We did it as a single, and we got some very good reactions from it. It's called The Water Song. The woman needs water, she's dying of thirst, asking why has her life been so cursed. Children starving, she's praying for rain. Tribal war brings more hardship and pain. There's water yonder but nothing for her. I cry in the desert, can you hear her? Donny Waterloo, she swift. Donny Waterloo. Baby crying in the dark of night, mother desperate with no help in sight, hiding the child so they won't be found. No turning back, village burned to the ground. Well, they killed her son and they raped her daughter, and it's been days since she's had a drink of water. Donny Waterloo, she swift. Donny Waterloo, she swift. In Attawapiskat, there's water in the sink, but half the time it's not safe to drink. Well, it's no wonder things have gone so wrong, with the water protectors all beaten down. Well, it's come to haunt us and it's gonna get worse when the so-called civilized world is dying of thirst. Donny Waterloo, she swift. Donny Waterloo, she swift. Donny Waterloo, she swift. Donny Waterloo. Oh, yeah. And then she wrote. I had a dream about Jesus, got to shake his hand, got to know him in person, got to understand, got to feel his presence, and everything was okay. But then I awakened when I heard him say, you are also his son. He is in us both. God is the Spirit, and you are the host. If you read your scripture, no matter what faith, it's all about loving. It's not about hate. Nothing is certain. We don't know what awaits. But when you get to meet Jesus, I reckon he'll say, you are also his son. He is in us both. God is the Spirit, and you are the host. You are also his son. This one is called the Not Worried Blues, also referred to as an American Dream. I work hard on the factory floor. I'm getting overtime and ready for more. I'll see a pension and a good vacation, and I don't worry about the automation. They say we might be going back to coal, just like in the days of old. We'll be happy. I had some trouble with the girl of my dreams. We've been together since our early teens, but things are changing as we both grow older. And last night she kinda said it was over, but I'm not worried, this has happened before. She'll be back knocking at my door. We'll be happy, oh so happy. Fortune teller said I'd write a hit tune, but she also said it wouldn't be soon. So I'm sitting here scratching my head, hoping it happens before I drop dead. But I'm not worried, this is coming to me. I'll be winning that lottery. I'll be happy, oh so happy. Oh yeah. Speaking of the hapless, feeling sorry for yourself kind of thing, here's an old classic. I make a date for golf, and you can bet your life it rains. I try to throw a party, and the guy upstairs complains. I guess I'll go through life just catching colds and missing trains. Everything happens to me. I never miss a thing. I've had the measles and the mumps, and every time I play an ace, my partner always trumps. I guess I'm just a fool who never looks before he jumps. Everything happens to me. At first I thought my heart would mend this jinx for me, that love would do the trick to end despair. But now I've got this head that just won't think for me. I've driven all my castles in the air. I telegraphed and phoned, send it airmail special too. Your answer was goodbye, and there was even postage due. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with you. Everything happens to me. Everything happens to me. Oh yeah. That's a song from the 20s and 30s, I think. Let me finish off with the title track of the new CD. It's called I'm Not 50 Anymore. I hope you get a kick out of this one. And, you know, to celebrate to do the whole Mother's Day package, I thought I'm going to dig up that tune I was referring to at the beginning of this session, Don't Forget Your Mother, recorded in Montreal, 1973, produced by Fraser Mohawk and Andre Perry in Andre's studio before he set up in Morin Heights. He had a beautiful studio in Montreal. And Fraser knew John Lissauer, who was the producer and musical director for the Manhattan Transfer. And he got him up to Montreal, and John Lissauer knew everybody. And as it turned out, Frank Zappa had put together a band for a tour. They called it the Petit Wazoo Tour. They were in Montreal at the Forum, and John arranged that they would all come over to the studio after their gig and do this recording session. We recorded 3 tunes, Don't Forget Your Mother, and Don't Paint That Wall, and The Story of the Magic Pick. And Mother was never released, as I think I referred, partly my fault, mostly my fault. I just I didn't really like the sound of the vocal, and it was my first attempt at ever doing any kind of solo recording. I had done some stuff in bands and things, but so I had, I guess I was just a miserable SOB, I think, in that period anyway, and hard to get along with. I guess maybe I got into a bit of a diva thing. Who knows? You wouldn't expect it, knowing me, eh? But, we all are part asshole. Wouldn't you agree? And then, we just got to keep that down and raise up the Buddha nature that we all have within us. I mean, that is the name of the game. Anyway, I'll play that tune as we finish off the show. But first, here's I'm Not 50 Anymore. Excuse me if I can't recall your name. Old age is wreaking havoc on my brain. But there's one reel left in this movie, and you can have a leading role. But go easy on me, honey. I'm not 50 anymore. Well, the label says they'll sign me if I'm prepared to hit the road. But I don't get out in them blizzards, can't lift them heavy loads. But if it's a short itinerary, if we can keep it close to home, if we go easy on me, honey, I'm not 50 anymore. I tell all the pretty women I'm not the man I was before. I don't get out like I used to. Is there a washroom on this floor? I'm blind without my glasses. Just point me to the door. And go easy on me, honey. I'm not 50 anymore. Not 50 anymore. yeah, tell the truth. And I can tell from the demographics that my crowd is probably not 50 anymore for the most part. And I know many of you are mothers, maybe grandmothers, so it's a happy Mother's Day to all of you. And, it's not too late if you haven't checked in with your mother. If she was lucky enough to still have a mother, then give her a call on Mother's Day. And enjoy this recording from 1973. Don't forget your mother. And stay in touch. If you go to brianblain.com, you can sign up for the monthly Blain letter, which I will be sending out once a month. And I don't spam you too much, but I ramble on about this and that. And used to be to promote my gigs, but there's no gigs. But maybe there will be again sometime. Until then, I wish you well, and take care of yourselves, and wear your mask until they say it's okay not to. And just hang in there, okay? Brian Blain, signing off.
Remember when you were small and cut your foot? There was only one person in the world who could make it feel good. And as the years passed by, you grew a little older. But still there wasn't a day that passed when you didn't need your mother. To be 13, and you thought you were smart, and you and your mother started to drift apart. She knew that she'd be losing you in a little while, but still she helped you get ready to go in style. Don't forget your mother. Don't forget your mother. She's the one that tells you when you're being unfair, and she's the one that has to explain something that isn't there. I believe she gets a special strength when times are hard. Something only a mother can get to keep her on her guard from breaking down. And starting to cry. Now you're on your own, and things are going pretty good. But you don't get to see your mother as often as you should. That's alright, she understands, and she knows you still love her. But maybe you should try to pick up a phone once in a while and remind her